So YouTube just made a huge mistake. For those of you guys that didn't see yesterday's video, YouTube is letting some previously banned users return. So people who have been banned before, specifically for COVID-19 misinformation, have been given the opportunity to come back on the platform. One of those YouTubers is Sneako. And I'm not gonna lie, like I said in my last video, him specifically coming back really aggravates me. For those of you guys that don't know who Sneako has kind of been the punching bag of the internet community for however long he's been on the internet, because he regularly says the most outrageous statements of all time. It's not rage bait, he genuinely believes these things. And one of the things that he really believes in strongly is the idea that if someone is at a quote, developed age, get married to an adult, explore their lives, etc. And so when he says developed age, in his own words, he's referring to people who are under 18, under 16, kids who are like 14 or 15. He has regularly said that if they are physically developed and if their parents consent to it, then they should be allowed to get married off to an adult. It is the sickest, most disturbing stuff that I've seen. And because there's a lot of weird freaks on the internet, he still has a lot of support, despite the fact that he has said crazy stuff like that. Now, in terms of him coming back to the platform, I understand that he was banned for COVID-19 misinformation, so I assume YouTube's argument is they're going to bring him back because it was COVID-19 misinformation, so they're not necessarily approving all the other stuff that he said. However, when someone is actually advocating for pedophilic activity, when somebody is making statements about advocating for child marriage, we're at the point where somebody should be restricted from all these platforms just so they don't spread this crazy rhetoric about child marriage. I mean, I remember getting some comments in my video yesterday where I was saying that, you know, this is unfortunately kind of a hot take nowadays, but I really think that Sneako should be off the platform and he should not ever be on YouTube ever again. And people in the comments are saying, oh, this actually isn't that hot of a take. I mean, a lot of people don't like Sneako. Yeah, you're right. I agree that Sneako gets a lot of hate, but Sneako also gets a lot of love. Here we are on Twitter. All I did was type in Sneako's name at the top. Let's go ahead and scroll through and see if we can see any negative tweets about him yet. We'll go and look at the replies of some tweets as well. But right now, let's just look at the actual main tweets that are popping up. Creators are celebrating and congratulating him for getting unbanned, despite knowing the crazy stuff that he has said. Here's somebody else congratulating Sneako for getting unbanned. I mean, if these guys know all the stuff that Sneako has said and they're still celebrating him, these guys are disgusting freaks. Because at the end of the day, the world, not just YouTube, not just the internet, the world has a problem right now where children are being targeted. Whether it's in the American government, whether it's in Roblox, whether it's in any type of media that you can think of. Kids are being targeted and we need to keep them safe. So whenever I see somebody like this who has said all the crazy stuff that they have, it's insane that they're allowed back on the platform. And you can have your opinions on COVID. I don't care. Like I said in my last video, this should not be a left versus right issue. This should not be an issue between liberals and conservatives. This should be an issue between people who support the age of consent, being adults should be allowed to get married to other adults, and groomers. This is what this debate should be about when it comes to Sneako. I mean, like I said, you know, like for example, in the last video, people were saying, oh, it's not a hot take of what you said. Believe it or not, that was some of the most dislikes that I've gotten in a while. I mean, people really do like this guy, despite everything that he has said, despite the fact that he's a freak that advocates for the marriage of children. I mean, I don't know. I understand the internet is a weird place, and I understand that people like to troll. So sometimes they like to celebrate assholes just for like the meme and stuff like that. But we really should draw the line when it comes to someone advocating for pedophilia. I mean, it's just nuts, man. For example, here's a little snippet of a debate of him talking about the whole child age of consent thing with a YouTuber named Destiny. I'm sure you guys know him. The dude's a prick himself. I'm not a fan of Destiny either, but just listen to this debate and listen to what Sneako says about the age of consent.
What do you think the age of consent should be, Sneako?
This is not an important conversation.
You don't think f***ing kids are not as an important conversation? What do you think the age of consent should be? If you want to be consistent, you don't think anything updates, just tell us what you think it should be.
I think it should be at a developed age.
What is a developed age? If you had to set a law for it, what would you set it? What would you set it about?
It's a developed age.
No, answer the question, you fucking pussy. Holy, you're such a cowardly. Stand up for what you believe in. If you actually are fucking Muslim, you're actually Islamic, then stand up for your fucking beliefs. Every other Muslim scholar online will do this. Do it. Stand tall on it. Don't act like a little in here trying to grill fucking XQC on fucking modern meta ethics or whatever if you won't even answer basic questions about your worldview. What should the age of consent be?
You see how
you want to answer the question? You see how he's gonna yap and not answer the question? I'm gonna ask the same thing when you're done. Go ahead. What was the age?
I just told you at a developed age.
Sneako thinks you should be able to f 9-year-olds. That's what Sneako thinks, and he won't answer that question honestly. Or he's gonna have to give a different answer, in which case he's updated his morality, updated his views, and that's really uncomfortable for him. You don't have an answer to any of this, bro. Go back to that fucking corner in London where you're getting roasted by year 1 debaters on fucking Christianity. This is I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
So yeah, I mean, it's the fact that he couldn't even give an answer to the very simple question, what do you think the age of consent should be if you were the one writing the law? I mean, that type of stuff is so alarming. And the fact that, like I said, this guy's back on the platform It's just really unfortunate and disappointing. And keep in mind that Sneako has also defended other very questionable individuals before. Remember when Dr. Disrespect literally admitted word for word that he had messages with an underage fan that leaned in the direction of being inappropriate. That's what he said word for word. Sneako still defended him. And I know I've brought up the age of consent thing that Sneako has said a lot, so here's kind of a clip of him clarifying his stance on it. And by the way, I understand that Critical also said some very questionable things in this debate too. I don't agree with some of the things that he said too, but I just want to focus on Sneako right now because this dude got unbanned despite what he just said in this clip. So let's go ahead and listen to it.
I'm talking about your personal beliefs. Do you think someone in their 20s should be able to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
Someone in their 20s should be, I mean, I personally wouldn't do it. I don't know many people who would do it. The maturity for people and the teenagers in the West is getting much worse, but there are...
We're talking globally. Let's just talk globally. Like, do you think it is okay for... I'm not talking about just you specifically anymore. Anyone. Do you think it's okay for anyone in their 20s, an adult, to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
A 21-year-old, if there was a marriage where the father consented and the daughter consented, and it was both good on both families and they wanted to do it, why am I going to get involved? Why should we get the government involved?
Well,
why would I tell them if everybody's consenting, if everybody's okay with it, if the parents are okay with it, if nobody's being harmed, if it's going to be okay, if they're both abiding by the rules and they're not hurting each other, why not?
But they're still, like, they're at best a sophomore in high school. They can't consent to something like that.
I mean, it's literal insanity. He just said that if a parent of a 15-year-old consents and she herself consents, as if that matters, it's not like she's mature enough to consent anyways, then why would he get involved if a 20-something-year-old wants to marry her? What planet are we on right now? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I think that there's a lot of things that used to be considered common sense and things that used to be considered crazy. And now the lines are being blurred with like this weirdo generation of online creators. I was raised a little bit more old school where like, I don't really believe in all this whole like internet, like debater bullshit and all that type of crap, man. I don't know. Like, crazy is crazy and normal is normal. The fact that he just advocated for that and he has been given a platform back on YouTube is insanity. And it's not like this is something that fell under the radar. This was a very, very highly discussed debate between the two of them. And yes, both of them, not just one of them, both of them said some questionable things. But at the end of the day, it's the dude who just advocated that a 20-year-old should be able to marry a 15-year-old if the parent and the daughter consents. That guy is back on YouTube. Where are we right now? I don't know. I mean, I feel really strongly about this because like I was saying earlier in the video, we are at this age right now, no pun intended, where like in the government, in games, and the internet and stuff like that, there's like this rise of like people being weird towards kids. I mean, we've seen it. Celebrities, YouTubers, Twitch streamers, and I'm just sick of it. I'm really fucking tired of it. And these guys should not be allowed to have a platform, not just on YouTube, but the internet in general. I know people are going to say the whole, what about free speech thing, man? Dude, if you're going to go ahead and advocate for child marriage, then you shouldn't be on any platform, period, end of story. I don't know. Like, I hope a lot of you guys do agree with this. To see people like call this dude and congratulate him, and to see a lot of people celebrating that he's back on YouTube, like, listen, I get it. I understand how the internet works. I know some people just support assholes just to kind of troll and, you know, just to kind of get behind somebody who everybody hates and all that. But like I said, we should be drawing the line when it comes to them saying crazy shit. If he was just saying simple rage bait stuff, just trying to get under people's skin and not really saying any type of like harmful rhetoric, then yeah, I mean, he would be a troll, and I guess, yeah, you can have him on YouTube. But like I said, when it comes down to child stuff, man, I don't know. But that's just what I think. I think YouTube has made a huge mistake by unbanning him. And I am very, very worried to see what other types of people that they're going to be unbanning. Because if this guy can come back on the platform with all the crazy stuff that he has said and done, and then these idiots, these morons go ahead and congratulate him despite knowing all the stuff that he said, I don't know. I feel like we're just in a weird era of the internet right now. So yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the situation in the comments. I just can't, man. Like I said earlier, you can believe whatever you want to believe. You can be left-wing, right-wing, centrist. I don't care. You can believe whatever you want. I'm never going to have a problem with people believing the things that they want to believe, as long as it doesn't involve advocating for actual crimes like pedophilia. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the situation in the comments. Good Lord, I can't believe this guy's back on the platform. Please leave a like in the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more. See ya.